Explain to me exactly what the objection is to this provision by Cuomo.
Well, Romaine, it has to do with the applicability of an executive order he signed on Saturday because it falls under the jurisdiction of the Department of Financial Services, which regulates all New York registered banks. Now, there's nothing wrong in principle, of course, with Andrew Cuomo trying to do everything he possibly can to provide relief for homeowners and small businesses, and that's what this order was intended to do. It provides 90 days of forbearance, meaning that people could hold back on mortgage payments for 90 days, and we know why. Of course, their incomes and small business revenue is evaporating while the economy is shut down. But, and here's the but, there's no explicit exemption in the order for what are called qualified financial contracts. And those qualified financial contracts also fall under the umbrella of the Department of Financial Services, and they are things like hedging trades, margin loans, bond repurchase agreements. It's fairly safe to say that Governor Cuomo did not intend this order to apply to those, but you can imagine what happens if all of a sudden the people on the wrong side of a hedging trade can say, because of the coronavirus, hey, I'm not paying for 90 days. Just imagine what that means for the counterparty banks on the other side.
Right. So, Erik, what does that mean in terms of which firms are affected? I mean, I know that you talked to some law firms about this. There are companies that obviously are registered in New York. Have we seen any damage from this so far?
Well, so I'll answer the question in two ways. The first is that it applies to any state-registered bank, and that includes the foreign branches of firms such as Barclays, for example, BNP Paribas, Mizuho, Natixis, the list goes on. And they are active participants in the markets that I described for the securities and the kinds of transactions that I described. And now, is this already coming to bear? The answer is yes. I have learned that in some cases yesterday, lawyers representing hedge funds that would otherwise have received margin calls were on the phone threatening to file litigation if the banks executed orders to close out trades or to demand collateral. So even one business day after this order went into effect on Saturday, it is already roiling the financial markets.